Good morning, children. Today we are going to see the lesson 8th unit. We are going through 8th unit. That is Jamaican fragment, A part. So let us go through the human rights. It is about human rights. So what is our human rights? What are the human rights? See, trust, freedom, equality, dignity, hope, justice, peace, rule of law, and prosperity. All these things are considered as human rights. So here, the present lesson deals with human rights. Human rights means here not only human rights, but also this racism, casteism, and regionalism. Okay, these type of things. Okay, here race means between blacks and whites. Blacks means here Negroes. Jamaicans. Present story is about Jamaican fragment. Fragment indicates story. So Jamaican fragment means Jamaican story. It happened in Jamaica. So let us go through the lesson first. So every day I walk half a mile from my home to the tramcar lines in the morning, and from the lines to my home in the evening. So every day he walks half a mile from his home to the tramcar station. Okay, in the morning, and in the evening he'll come back. And the walk is a pleasant one because this is a very, nearly 1 or 2 kilometers only. There is a very pleasant walk for the other, nearly half a mile. Okay, not more than 1 kilometer, half a mile. The road on either side is flanked by red and green roofed bungalows. See, the road on either side is flanked means having something on both the sides of the road. That is called flanked. Flanked by what? Flanked by red and green roofed bungalows. So it is roof. Roof means like a roof. Roofed bungalows. Bungalows means buildings, old buildings. Green lawns and gardens. So all these things are there. Green lawns are there, and garden is also there. Beautiful gardens are there on both sides of the road. That's why the walk is a very pleasant one to the other. The exercise is good for me now and then. Yeah, this is a little bit exercise because walking half a kilometer is a good exercise for the other. Okay, it feels very pleasant, and it becomes he feels like he's doing some exercise, even physical exercise, and now and then he feels very happy. And I learned something from a little incident. Now and then means recently he has learned something from the little incident which had happened in his life. One morning, about halfway between my front gate and the tramcar track. Yeah, this is half a kilometer only in front of his front gate and the tramcar track. What happened? He noticed the two of the boys were sitting in the lawn. I noticed the two little boys playing in the garden for the more modest cottages. Okay, so he sat there. The children were playing there in the garden, and it is a most modest cottages. Okay, modest means it's a old but pretty fashioned. Okay, and they were both very little boys. One was 4 years old, perhaps the other five. Yeah, one is 4 years old and the other is 5 years old. Perhaps means maybe the other is 5 years old. Okay, very small babies they are. And the bigger of the two was a sturdy youngster. So among the two, one bigger one. So he was very sturdy. Sturdy means strong. Strong youngster he is. Very young boy. And very dark, with a mat of coarse hair on his head and coal black eyes. So what does the physical features indicate? These physical features indicate that he is a Jamaican because of his coal black eyes, and that is hazel eyes, and that is greenish brown or reddish brown eyes. Okay, and matte coarse hair means a rude and offensive hair. All this indicates that he is a Jamaican, little Jamaican. He was definitely a little Jamaican, a strong little Jamaican. Yeah, he is a very strong Jamaican. Okay, he is younger and he is strong. A little Jamaican he is. The other little fellow was smaller but also sturdy. So the other one was also strong. Okay, he is small but also sturdy. Sturdy means strong. He was white with hazel eyes and light brown hair. So he is a white. White means what? Britisher. So he is a white, and moreover with a hazel eyes. Hazel means, here I told you earlier, that it is a reddish brown or greenish brown color eyes, and light brown hair. The hair is brown in color. Both were dressed in blue shirts and khaki pants. Both were wearing blue color shirts and wearing khaki pants. They wore no shoes. and their feet were muddy. They did not wear any shoes, that's why the feet were muddy. Muddy means dirty. And they were not conscious of my standing there. They did not know that the other was standing there and watching them. So, as the other was watching them, they played on. So, they goes on playing, and they did not notice the other standing there. The game, if it could be called a game, was not elaborate. Yeah, if we call it as a game, it is not so clear. Clear means here, elaborate means not clear. The little white boy strode imperiously up and down the lawn. So here, stride, strode, strodden. So stride means here to walk with the long steps. Strode imperiously. So imperiously, the word in a manner expecting people to obey. That is called imperiously, up and down the lawn, and every now and then shouted imperiously at his bigger playmate. He is shouting at his bigger playmate. The small one was shouting at his bigger playmate. The little brown boy shuffled along. So shuffled here. What is the meaning of shuffled? Walked slowly without lifting feet from the ground. That is called shuffled. Shuffled along quietly behind him and did what he was told. Whatever he says, he is following the instructions given by the youngster. Okay, the white boy. So the white boy is giving the orders to the black boy. So he is following the instructions. Pick up that stick. So he picked up the stick. The dark boy picked it up. So dark means here who? The Jamaican picked up the stick. Jump it into the flowers means to throw it into the flowers. The dark boy jumped. The dark boy just threw the stick into the flowers, onto the flowers. Give me some water. So he asked. The dark boy ran inside. The white boy sat down on the lawn. So he is ordering the black boy to bring some water for him. So immediately the dark boy disappeared and he reappeared with a glass of water. The white boy sat down on the lawn. While he went, when he went inside, he was sitting on the lawn. In the lawn. Now, I was amazed. Who is I refers to? I refers to the other. He was amazed. Amazed means surprised, because here before his eyes a white baby, for they were little more than babies, they were imposing their will upon one another. Okay, that is the white is imposing his will upon the black. That's why. And the little black boy submitted. Submitted means whatever he says, he is following. He is doing. I puzzled within myself. Puzzle means confused within himself as I went down the road. So he went down the road and he was thinking deeply over the subject. Could it be that the little boy was the son of the servant in the home and therefore had to do the white boy's bidding? So these are the guesswork done by the other. So he thought that maybe that what we call the dark boy, he is worrying about the dark boy because the other is also a Jamaican. So he is worrying about the dark boy, and he says he thought that maybe the dark boy was the servant's son. Okay, a servant is working in the white man's house, and whereas he is the son of the servant. That's why he is obeying the orders of the white boy. No, they were obviously dressed alike. No, that is not the assumption, because they were dressed alike. Both were same. Both their dress sense is same. The little dark boy was of equal class with his playmate. Maybe both are, you know, um, same equal classmate, or maybe he is a playmate. Playmate means who comes to our house to play, and the small children, they have the company. Maybe the neighbors or somebody else. That's why they thought. No, they were playmate. No, that is also not. They were playmates. The little dark boy was a neighbor's child. Maybe this is also one of the assumption that they were playmates. Yeah, playmates means who play together. That is called playmates. The little dark boy was a neighbor's child. Maybe he is a neighbor's child. Little dark boy is the Jamaican. Maybe he is a neighbor's child. He thought. I was sure of that. Yeah, he is particular about that. He is sure about that. Who is the other is sure about this, that maybe they are playmates and maybe he is a neighboring child who came to his house to play. So maybe he is a playmate. Then how was it that he obeyed so faithfully the white boy's orders? Suppose if it is the case that he is a playmate, and how can he obey the orders given by the white boy? Okay, so faithfully, so humbly he is accepting. So how is it possible? That's what he says. Next, was it that even as a boy, he sensed that his own country he would be at the white man's beck and call. See here, beck and call, white man's beck and call. So beck and call means here be ready to do what someone asks. whatever someone asks us to do, so readily accepting and doing the thing immediately, that is called beck and call. Okay, so here, was it that even as a boy he sensed that in his own country he would be at the white man's beck and call? Means, was it that, what is this? Was it that, was it that even as a boy he sensed it? So he's a small boy, and how can he sense that in his own country he should accept the white boy's bidding orders, beck and call? Could he at his age divine a difference between himself and the white? So at this tender age, how can he notice the difference, or how can he notice the difference between the white boy and the black boy? How is it possible? He thought. Next, coming to this, could he at his age divine a difference between himself and the white boy? And did the little white youngster, so young, such a baby, realize that he would grow to dominate the black man? So here is a white boy. White boy is also very young, very small, maybe 4 or 5 years old. At this tender age only, if he shows, if he imposing his will upon the other, the black boy, the treating the race in a different manner, then when he grow up, how, what about the future of the country? That is the thing he worries a lot. The other worries a lot. And did the little white youngster, so young, such a baby, realize that he was to grow to dominate the black man? How can he dominate the black man? And if he grow up, will he certainly dominate, or that is a fear in his mind? Was there an indefinable quality? Indefinable means which cannot be defined. That is called indefinable quality in the white man that enabled his baby. How can it be possible? That's what he worries a lot. I could not bring myself. I could find no answer. So he could not find any answer for these questions. And later on, what happened? I could not bring myself to believe such a thing, and yet, with my own eyes, I had seen a little dark boy take orders from a little white boy. So he could not bring himself because he could not believe his eyes, because the things are happening in front of his eyes. That is, they are playing. Actually, it's a game, but he doesn't know. And the other thought that the whites are dominating the blacks in that way, because here in this play, what happened? The white boy is giving the orders to the black boy, and the black boy is submitted. He is doing whatever he says. That's why smaller and the young man. This is, I could find no answer. I could not bring myself to believe such a thing, and yet with my own eyes I had seen a little dark boy take orders from a white boy. Yeah, that's what. He could not believe his eyes because the black boy is taking the orders from the white boy and doing very sincerely. A little white boy obviously is social equal. Social means here society. Okay, in the society we're all equal. So that is also one of the right human rights. But here what happens? Gender bias is going on. Not gender bias, but the race, a different race. Racism is going on. Okay, blacks and whites. So obviously is social equal, and younger and smaller. Were we as a race really inferior? So he got it out that were we in the sense who, all the Jamaicans, all the blacks, were we as a race really inferior? Opposite of superior is inferior. So inferior means less. Okay, so inferior that even in our infancy means in our tender age, that is childhood, even in our childhood means the other's childhood, even in his childhood, he realized his deficiencies. So what are called deficiencies? Insufficiencies is called deficiencies. And accepted a position as a white man's servant, and he readily accepted to be the white man's servant because of those conditions in those days. But now it is not like that. So here the meanings, let us come to the glossary, and let me tell you the meanings. Fragment means what? Story. So be flanked by, it's an verb, and have someone or something on both sides is called be flanked by. Sturdy, well built. Sturdy, strong and well built. Coarse, rude and offensive. Okay, so this one we can go through the debate also. Here is a oral discourse. It is about debate. So the debate is about children should not have equal dignity and rights as adults. See, adults, adults means here 18 plus is called adults. Okay, so adults have rights, human rights. What about children then? Do they have or don't they have any rights to fight against this? They do have. So children should not have equal dignity and rights as adults. So that is a debate we have to discuss about. What about children? Then do they have the similar rights as adults? Okay, that is the topic.